Good morning, everyone. It is Friday. It's also payday, so I'm doubly happy. This is Lewis Porter Jr. 2 days in a row. It's like I'm crazy over here. All right. Today we're gonna have kind of a split conversation. I'm gonna see if I can get both of these in the less than 15 minutes, because both of them are kind of important and kind of interesting. Let's go with the controversial one first, so you can get me all riled up before I go to work, because that's of course what I need to be riled up before I go to work. So, some folks on Facebook have been suggesting to get more quality third-party publishers and third-party public products out there. I really do, not even a turn signal. They have been suggesting that we build a board where people review products and give it a quality seal of approval kind of scenario. Okay. I must admit, when I heard this, my head exploded. Because, simply put, not going to beat around the bush on this one. This is the dumbest idea I've heard in a long time. The reason I think this is an incredibly dumb idea is because the ability to exploit, manipulate, cajole, my favorite words, the system with this in place is ridiculous. And to give a group of people a certain amount of power above another group of people in a field where basically, if you want to determine if you're successful, the market determines if you're successful. If you sell stuff, you're successful. If you don't, you're not. That to me is the worst idea ever. People are like, oh no, it'll give it a quality seal of approval, and people will like that. I'm like, no. What will happen is, if anybody's got any, kind of devious mindset, and this is what I thought when I first started this, so don't be surprised. If you really wanted to really set this up, you could set up with a couple guys that you know. If it's a 5-panel board, you get yourself on the board, and you get maybe 1 or 2 of your friends on the board. So you basically have a 60% majority stake control of something. And then you can push through whatever agenda you might want to do. Now people are like, oh, Lewis, that would never happen. Come on, that would never happen. See, the problem is, it's already happened. It happened to me when I was at RPG Now, back in the early 2007s, when another individual, and if you watch my podcast long enough, you know what I'm talking about, he was there with some other people. Now, I can't talk bad about this guy because I buried the hatchet, but still, he was on the board of these guys doing this who decided, hey, we want to decide what quality should be, and we want to decide what control should be, and if we don't like you, we're going to push you off. And that's what they did for about 10 months. And then I got to come back when one bookshelf was bought, well, when bookshelf was created, when Drive-Thru and RPG Now merged, which still, 6 years later, they're still 2 separate sites. I still don't understand that, but that's another offshoot. So, these individuals thought it would be best if they decided what would be best for RPG Now. You think I'd let anybody ever do something like that ever again? Come on. Imagine if a bunch of guys don't like a certain publisher for whatever reason it might be. They may not give it a seal of approval. I mean, that to me is just ridiculous. Why in the world would you let anybody put a seal of approval on the product you do? The market will do that for you. If it's good, people will buy more. If it sucks, they won't. It's just that simple. This isn't rocket science here, okay? This is pretty simple. And on top of that, here's the real issue that people have not talked about, mentioned, or even looked at while doing this. Dun, 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 dun. Retailers don't care about that. Retailers do not care if it has a seal of approval. Retailers care, just like you should care, if the product sells. If the product sells, that's what sounds great to them. If the product doesn't sell, well, then it's a piece of crap. Because retailers aren't in this for ego. They're not in this to show everybody, look at my stuff, isn't it great? Retailers are in it to make a profit because they've got to pay their bills. Just like any good publisher would be. But apparently people have forgotten that aspect and decided to make some kind of ego stroke out of this. And yeah, I may be upsetting a couple people, but I really, come on, guys. This isn't the first time I've upset people. So, this ain't nothing new. But I mean, this is a horrible idea. So that's my feeling on it. If people want to do it, that's great. I hope you don't cause too many fights. I hope there isn't too much of an issue. I hope that you can survive this experience without, gaining a bunch of enemies just from doing something silly. That's just the first part. Okay, I'm done talking about that. If people want to do it, let them do it. I'm not supporting it. I don't think it's a good idea, and I think it's kind of a waste of time. Make good products. That's the best way to make sure you'll sell a lot. That's where the quality counts. And people say, oh, third party, it's not as good as first. Well, that leads into the second question. Okay, so last night I'm on Facebook, just, doing like everybody else, surfing, and Dreamscarred Press puts up a little notice on there. The guys at Dreamscarred Press, Psionics, they're running it, okay? Apparently, in like the most recent, I think it's Adventure, Dungeon Dragon, okay, it's an adventure, I can't remember the name, but look through Dreamscarred Press's Facebook press, you'll see it. Apparently, Paizo has used one of their psionic abilities in a dragon as a special ability. And of course, in their section 15, they cite Dreamscarred Press's, I believe it's Psionics Unleashed, actually. Okay, now the question becomes, here it is. If Paizo now just said we're citing section 15 of Dreamscarred Press's product in our product, and this relates directly to psionics. I mean, this is Dreamscarred Press 100%. Does this make the psionics that Dreamscarred Press done official? Whatever that freaking means. For Pathfinder? I don't know. I don't know if it makes it official. It's not like it's Paizo making it. But what I do like is that Paizo said, hey, this thing is useful. We like this thing. We want to use this thing. Cite the guys who did the work on this, and we'll put it in our product. Now that's the important piece. That's the piece that goes, wow, that's what's good. The market has determined what is good. See, as it should be. See, everybody knows Dreamscarred Press has cornered the market, and I mean it, because cornered the market on psionics. You can try to put up another psionic system. You can try. It has to be at least as good as theirs, if not better. And let me tell you, theirs is pretty damn good. The people who like psionics love what they've done. These guys live, breathe, smoke, drink, fight psionics. They got it down pat. I mean, all the psionics we use for New Exodus are based off their stuff. We actually get Jeremy to write the stuff for us, because I'm like, forget it. Let's get a professional in here. Let's get someone who knows psionics better than whoever will. Let's get him in here. Let's hire him. Boom. Let's have him knock it out. And that's what he does for us. So anytime we put psionics in really any of our products, I'm going to Dreamscarred Press first and saying, hey, can you write this for us? And blah, 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 blah. But you get the gist. So I think this is another great step by Paizo, showing that, hey, if the product's good, we're going to use it. Maybe they don't use the whole system. Maybe it isn't like everything they're doing on the system for this, but they are grabbing a piece of it. And I don't think I've ever remember seeing WotC doing something like this, let alone putting it in their section 15. I mean, okay, maybe Tomb of Horrors. I mean, Tomb of Horrors is the exception to every rule. And I'm talking about not the adventure. I'm talking about the book from the guys who are White Wolf. Wink, wink. It's not White Wolf. It's Frog God Games. Yeah. Okay. Wink, wink. That book has a ton of monsters that people like and people like to use, and they're good monsters to use. So why not use them in your product? So it doesn't surprise me that people are doing that kind of stuff. But to go with something that's really kind of different, the actual, psionics, and, nothing says psionics like psionics. So to actually have Paizo acknowledge it directly, even in product, was kind of surprising. I didn't think they would do something like that. I thought they would, for lack of a better term, go the lazy route and say, no, we're doing psionics. And it just happens to look like this one's over here, What you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to put the section 15 in. You're supposed to give people the recognition. And they did that. And that tells you just a lot about the mentality of Paizo itself as a company. I am a huge fan of Paizo as a company, because I think they know what fans want to see. Plus, they do things that fans would enjoy. And I think most fans really want... The fan base that loves psionics really wants psionics. There's some people who are like, psionics is the devil. I will never play with psionics. Hey, that's your choice, okay. But those people who do like psionics have kind of rallied around Dreamscarred Press as the de facto psionics rule set. And maybe Paizo will never do one. It's a possibility. It is a possibility that Paizo may never, ever, ever do psionics in a setting, in the campaign rule, in anywhere. But I think Dreamscarred Press is kind of, like I said, it's kind of handled that. So, is it even worth it for Paizo to, for lack of a better term, waste their time doing something like that's already been done? Wouldn't it be faster if Paizo just came to him and said, look, all that money we're going to pay for a budget to a book, we'll pay these guys. They've already done all the heavy lifting. We'll take everything they got, we'll clean it up, and then we'll put it out under our logo with their logo on it. That's a possibility of happening. And that could happen. That could legitimately happen. Or you could just take the material as open content. They can do it themselves, and that. I think it'd be in their best interest to lack of a term, buy out the other guys and do it. I mean, everyone would like that. Everyone would think that would make Paizo even cooler than they already are. So that's just a thought. But I just thought it was interesting of, official, non-official. What does that really mean? Oh, it's third party. It's not that good, except for, everybody now is a third party publisher. Including Jason Bullman. Jason Bullman is a third party publisher. Okay, if the guy who created the Pathfinder system has a third party company, and you're still saying all third parties suck, apparently you've been smoking too much crack. It's like anything else. Well, 90% of it's going to be crap. You know what? 90% of everything is crap. That's why it's called 90%. These are just random words and numbers we use to make ourselves feel better. Look, things that are good, things that are bad are all subjective. I've seen a lot of bad movies that I think were fantastic. Case in point, Highlander. Let's not kid anybody. Not winning the Oscars, not going to run away with any major awards. But that movie was great, okay? Another great movie, boom. I'll say that. Well, The Big Hit. That's a really good one. Way of the Gun is also an excellent one, but once again, not a big Oscar winner and stuff like that. So, my thought process is, as long as it's interesting, as long as it's cool, as long as people are excited about it, then it should be good. All right, I'm going to my pocket here. That's why I'm driving sideways like this. Get my wallet out because I got to go to the ATM. Since you're basically recording this and I'm too lazy to do anything different, I gotta go to the ATM. But like I said, I think Dreamscarred Press coming out with that comment about psionics is, that's kind of impressive. I like that Paizo said, hey, you've got something we like, we're gonna use it, we're gonna cite you, and this could possibly, and I could just be, going crazy here, and that's nothing new either. This could be the first step in seeing more of this kind of crossover between third party and Paizo. Would I like that? Of course we'd all like that. I mean, let's not be stupid. When Paizo says, yes, we like your stuff. Oops, backwards. Yes, we like your stuff. We say, oh, that sounds fantastic. So, if Paizo likes your stuff, and they think you're fantastic, boom. There's only the potential to make more money. And funny enough, I'm talking about Paizo. Here's a check for them that I'm depositing right now. Check deposit. That's funny, talking about Paizo and depositing Paizo money. I call that a plus plus. Or plus plus, if you're in French. Yes, that's good. And this money will be used to pay freelancers, and people will be rejoicing, and people will be excited, and there will be love and laughter. God, I love getting money. It's just a personal thing. Complete deposit, and soon this will all be done, and I can finish off to work, which I guess I'm kind of on time, maybe. Well, look, I'm showing up. Okay, I'm showing up, so I must be kind of good. All right, I got a minute left. I'm gonna be very, very quick. Thank you as always for watching my video. If you have any comments, please leave some comments in the comment section. Some of you come and you watch, but you don't say anything, or you put it on my Facebook post, or whatever. Don't get me wrong, those are still pretty cool. But do me a favor, put it in the comments so we can see it. Put it in the video comments. Put it where we can talk about it. Or better yet, put it where I can make comments about you on my video. Mom! That's what I love. I love that crap. Alright. I'm going to go finish off the work, drive back into traffic, and I'm going to turn this video off. I'll talk to you all later.